Hello everyone. So it's been a while since I've touched on the topic of medication, and I think it's time to give you guys a little bit of an update. So a little backstory, I've been living with a dual diagnosis condition for a very long time. One of the mental health conditions include major depressive disorder, and the other one is generalized anxiety. It's a rather common combination of mental health disorders to have, but those who live with this dual diagnosis know that it's not a walk in the park. So I hadn't actually been diagnosed with these mental health conditions until my early to mid-20s, which is where I first embarked on this medication journey. Presently, there are various amounts of medications to choose from, created in the effort to help with the symptoms of a mental health condition. From SSRIs to benzodiazepines, there definitely are options out there should you choose to take the medication route. I tried many different combinations of medications before I finally found one that worked well with me. And after a couple of years on these medications, I had decided to take a more aggressive and holistic approach to my mental health. And so I talked to my doctor and I let them know that I wanted to safely wean off of the medication because I wanted to be completely off of them. I had begun to realize that simply by taking these medications, they were only masking the symptoms of depression and anxiety. But what I was really looking for was to get to the root cause of the depression and the anxiety. So this meant that I really had to embark on a journey of self, really looking within and going to all of those dark places that we don't necessarily like going to. That part in our psyche where we hold all of our secrets and all of our traumas. And doing this work, we call it shadow work. And it's not the prettiest place, and it's definitely not the easiest, but for me, I really wanted to do this process because I really thought this was necessary for my own healing process. So after weaning myself off the medications and really being aggressive with this shadow work and really looking inside of myself, lo and behold, it worked. And I finally felt that I was living a normal life. So I was happy. I was doing really well up until a year or so after this process that my mental health took a dip. At this particular point in my life, I was dealing with a very toxic relationship, and this relationship had left me feeling how I used to. I was depressed and I had really bad anxiety every single day. Luckily, that relationship had ended, and fortunately, I had all the tools necessary to get back into a healthy mental state. I started seeing doctors and I started seeing a therapist. The doctors had told me that because of what I had gone through in the relationship, that on top of my diagnosis of depression and anxiety, I was now diagnosed with PTSD. So I was put on medication once again, and I wasn't afraid to take it. I knew it had really helped me once before, and so I knew that it was going to do its job once again and get me back to where I needed to be. So after I leveled out, I had discussed with my doctors once again that this was not something that I want to be taking for the rest of my life. And so I safely went off the medication again, and I got back to doing the shadow work. And this time I really had to double down on it because there was a lot of stuff that I needed to heal from. It's been my personal experience with medications that they do a fantastic job of masking the symptoms of depression and anxiety. But for me, there came a point where I didn't like feeling like I wasn't feeling, if that makes sense. Or rather, I didn't enjoy not feeling in general. because there were so many beautiful things happening in my life. It didn't feel fair to deprive myself of the beautiful feelings that came with it. So as of now, I've been off medications for about 3 or 4 months, and I honestly feel fantastic. Now, I do have to work harder in keeping my serenity and balance, and I have to do that by being very honest with myself. I really have to hold myself accountable and really need to look inside my soul and really study every fabric, every thread that was stitched together to make me who I am. I am not a doctor, so I cannot advise people as to how they should handle their medication or whether they should even be or not be on medication. I'm just speaking from my own experience, and I know what's worked for me and what hasn't. Taking any kind of medication, it's a super personal decision and a super personal experience that you have to choose for yourself. Keep in mind that every single person is different. My body chemistry is going to be different from your body chemistry, and so on and so forth. So what may work for me may not work for you, and vice versa. I am neither pro or against medication. I know it helps a lot of people out, and I know it definitely helped me out. But again, it's just such a personal journey that it's up to that individual person to understand their own body and decide for themselves what they want to do. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this was able to give someone some insight, and I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye.